In the twilight of the 13th century, when the world shook beneath the hooves of Mongol horses and empires crumbled into dust, a small and nearly forgotten tribe of Turkish warriors wandered through the chaos of Anatolia, searching for a place to survive, a tribe with no home, no power, and no certainty that tomorrow would come. Yet from these humble beginnings rose one of the greatest empires in human history, the Ottoman Empire, a power that would dominate 3 continents for over 600 years and reshape the destiny of Eurasia forever. It began with Ertuğrul Bey, a leader hardened by exile, whose people, the Kayı tribe of Oghuz Turks, fled from the deadly storm of Genghis Khan's Mongol invasion. Ertuğrul, with only a few hundred warriors, arrived on the frontier lands between the decaying Byzantine Empire in the west and rival Turkic principalities in the east, a dangerous frontier where every village was a battleground and every day demanded steel and courage. Against all odds, Ertuğrul forged alliances, defeated enemies stronger than himself, and secured for his tribe a small but vital territory around Söğüt, a rugged land that would become the cradle of greatness. When Ertuğrul passed, his son Osman inherited leadership, a man of ambition, intelligence, and unbreakable will, and he transformed that small frontier tribe into the seed of a rising empire. Osman attacked Byzantine fortresses, expanded into enemy lands, and united Turkish warriors under a single banner, inspiring them with the vision that someday the crescent of the Ottomans would rise above ancient kingdoms. It was Osman's name that gave birth to the empire, Osmanlı, the Ottomans, and his dream soon passed into the hands of his son Orhan, who struck the first great blow against Byzantine power by capturing Bursa in 1326, a prosperous city that became the first capital of the growing empire and a symbol that the Ottomans were no longer mere nomads, but rulers of a state rooted in wealth, trade, religion, and strategy. As Ottoman power expanded, so did their military brilliance. They transformed frontier raiders into a disciplined fighting machine, welcoming warriors from all lands who sought glory and reward, turning holy war into a force of recruitment that grew with every victory. Then came Murad I, a visionary who laid the foundation of an empire destined to conquer continents. He created the Janissaries, an elite corps of infantry unlike any the world had seen, boys taken young, through the devrim system, converted, trained with absolute discipline, given no loyalty but to the Sultan himself, becoming the iron fist of the dynasty, feared by enemies and admired by allies. Murad pushed westward into the Balkans, defeating Serbian, Bulgarian, and Hungarian armies, capturing Edirne, the new European capital, making the Ottomans not only masters of Anatolia, but a decisive power in Europe. But victory always demands sacrifice. At Kosovo in 1389, Murad was assassinated after a brutal battle that left nations shattered yet brought the empire glory, and his son Bayezid, known as Yildirim, the Thunderbolt, took the throne and brought with him the speed of lightning. Bayezid conquered Bulgarian lands, crushed Crusader armies with devastating force, and forced the Byzantine Empire into submission, surrounding Constantinople and preparing to end the ancient city once and for all. But fate intervened from the east. The Mongol Turkic conqueror Timur rose with an army of warriors who claimed the legacy of Genghis Khan, and at the Battle of Ankara in 1402, the clash of titans ended with Ottoman defeat and Bayezid captured the empire, suddenly broken, its provinces rebelling, its future in ruins. This moment, the Ottoman interregnum, could have ended the story, but destiny did not abandon the Ottomans, for from this chaos emerged Mehmed I, who reunited the shattered state, defeated his rivals, restored the authority of the Sultan, and proved that the empire's strength came not from one man, but from a civilization hardened by struggle. Then came Murad II, who fought crusades in Europe, crushed rebellions, and built the stability necessary for the arrival of the greatest conqueror of his time, his son Mehmed II, a young ruler raised with a single purpose, to conquer Constantinople, the heart of the Byzantine Empire, the jewel of imperial ambition, a city that had stood undefeated for over 1,100 years, with walls so thick they were believed invincible. But Mehmed, bold beyond his age and armed with the most advanced cannons in the world, blockaded the city by land and sea. And when the Byzantines chained the Golden Horn to block his ships, he did the unthinkable. He dragged his navy overland on greased logs and launched them behind enemy defenses, shocking the world with both genius and audacity. For 53 days, the siege raged, cannonballs thundered like storms, bravery clashed against destiny, until on May 29, 1453, the walls finally shattered and the Ottomans surged into Constantinople, conquering the last remnant of the Roman Empire and transforming the city into Istanbul, capital of the new world power. Men became known as Fatih the Conqueror, a title earned in history's fire. With Constantinople, the Ottomans took command of trade routes linking Europe and Asia, and their armies continued to spread like an unstoppable tide. Serbia submitted, Bosnia fell, the Black Sea became an Ottoman lake, and Mehmet's successors expanded even further. Selim I the Grim turned south, conquering the Mamluk Sultanate of Egypt, taking the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, and assuming the title Caliph, making the Ottoman Sultan guardian of the Islamic world. Under his rule, the Ottomans ruled lands from Persia's borders to the gates of Europe. Then under Suleiman the Magnificent, the empire reached its golden age. Suleiman was not just a warrior, but a poet, a strategist, a reformer, and the most powerful man on earth in the 16th century. His armies marched deep into Europe, laying siege to Vienna itself, while his navy commanded the Mediterranean, the Red Sea, and the Persian Gulf, making the Ottomans a global empire. The Janissaries and Sipahi cavalry became legends of warfare, feared for their discipline and skill, while Ottoman architects like Mimar Sinan created masterpieces that touched the sky, and scholars filled the cities with knowledge, law, and innovation. Trade flourished, culture thrived, and Istanbul became the heartbeat of civilization, where continents met and faiths crossed. Throughout these centuries, European kings measured their strength based on how they could resist the Ottomans. Popes called crusades in fear of the Crescent, and the balance of world power shifted forever. This was not simply an empire, but a phenomenon that shaped religion, culture, warfare, governance, and identity, from Morocco to Hungary, from Egypt to the Ukraine, from Arabia to Greece. The rise of the Ottoman Empire was not a miracle, nor an accident, but the result of relentless ambition, visionary leadership, unmatched military organization, cunning diplomacy, and the belief that their destiny was carved into the future. A dynasty that began as exiles became masters of Eurasia. For nearly 7 centuries, they adapted, survived, evolved, and commanded respect across the earth. Their shadow influenced the politics of Europe, the traditions of the Middle East, and the history of the entire world. From a forgotten tribe fleeing Mongols to an empire that crowned sultans as caliphs, from dusty frontier camps to palaces of marble and gold, the Ottomans rose. Because they refused to fall, they conquered. Because they believed they were chosen, and they endured, because their identity was forged in the fire of war. Even when decline eventually came in later centuries, as Europe industrialized, Janissaries resisted change, corruption spread, and nationalist movements erupted. The legacy of their rise never faded. Their cultural, architectural, military, and religious influence remains woven into the lands they once ruled. From the call to prayer echoing through Istanbul's minarets, to the forts standing along Balkan mountains, from the laws and languages still shaped by Ottoman rule, to the hearts of millions who trace their ancestry to those warriors of the Crescent. The story of the Ottoman rise is the story of ambition without limits, courage without fear, discipline without doubt, and survival against overwhelming odds. A story of warriors who crossed continents and changed the world, whose empire stood longer than any European great power, whose name still echoes like thunder through history's halls. They were the Ottomans, the warriors of Eurasia, and their rise remains one of humanity's greatest tales of power, faith, and destiny.